Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are so excited to be here, and I want to say I feel so blessed that we get to share with you guys every week.
Agreed.
Tuesdays are fun.
Tuesdays are super fun.
And we always have fun as a group of people doing this on this end of it too. So if you see us being like a little bit crazy, it's because Tuesdays are always silly.
Yeah.
And we just love being here. So I'm Patty.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
And we are StudioR12 Stencils, and today we have some really cool information to give to you. It's about prepping. I feel like fall and winter are tall porch sign months. And so we're going to show you how to prime dimensional lumber, which means it's lumber from the lumberyard. We're going to tell you about buying it, prepping it, priming it, fixing knots, doing all of those things. Sealing it. And first we have other information.
We do have some other information. So on Tuesdays, you're joining us and we're doing a fun little chit chat kind of thing. Then Saturdays on our YouTube channel, we release project videos. This past weekend, our video, we used one stencil and Patty showed you how to paint on an apron.
Start at the top.
Start at the top.
Yeah, Carrie. Gotcha.
Pull me along.
Okay, so we have the Let's Get Baked apron. And so this is amazing because it's super flexible and super amazing. Like, it was so easy to do. If you want to paint fabric and you want it to turn out perfect, you want to watch that video. And then we'll mess up our hair.
So then not only do we use the stencil for that, we also used it to show you how to make a little gift set. So we got the apron from Amazon, we got the tea towel from Hobby Lobby, and then we got the oven mitt from the Dollar Tree. So what a cute little gift set that you can make someone just by stenciling. And it's a beautiful little Christmas thing.
What I love about this is it does showcase too that we have stencils in all the sizes.
Yes.
And so pretend like, I don't know if this is just me. If you guys agree with this, look, let us know in the chat and stuff. But I want to give presents at Christmas time, but I want to give something meaningful. I want to give something that somebody will remember that I gave it to them. I don't want to give them I'm an anti-gift card person, even though like I own retail businesses and we sell gift cards. But I love the personal touch of gift giving. Yeah. I love that. And so to make a cute little set, and then stencils are reusable, so you can use the same stencils over and over and over and over and over again. So you don't have to limit yourself to just one. Thank you so much. And so, but you could make, a dozen black aprons. You could make a dozen, pot mitts, any of this kind of stuff. The tea towel thing, I think, was $2.50 at Hobby Lobby. Therefore, in the needlepoint section, these are $1.25. I think these are 2 for $12, so $6 each. So for under $20, once you buy your stencil and you have your painting stuff, for under $20, you can have a wonderful, wonderful gift. So keep that in mind when we come into gift giving season.
Debbie asked, are they washable after you paint them?
Yes, so they recommend. So I don't know, I'm just gonna come from a personal place. I don't know if you've ever tried to get paint out of fabric after you screwed up and worn your like nice clothes and painted and then, that, I'll do it again.
Please, thank you.
Okay, that's the noise because you're gonna be doing like noise after that. Anyway, but you can't get paint out of fabric. You have to work your tail end off, but you can put a pressing cloth over it, heat it, and then that really bonds it in, and then yes, you can wash it.
Yay.
After that, I know, perfect.
All right, and then this weekend we have something super exciting and fun and a surprise for you. So you'll have to tune in sometime after Saturday morning. We've had a lot of people telling us that they like to get up on Saturday mornings and drink their coffee and watch our new video.
It's this Saturday morning, so we're in Southeast Ohio, and it is the 5th of, so September. This weekend's going to be like the 9th, I think, on Saturday. And so here, we're going to dip into 75s as the high, and that's the first day. Right now, we're having this big heat wave and stuff. Yeah. But that's like porch sitting, coffee drinking, YouTube
Video
watching, bird chirping season. It's amazing.
So if you are not subscribed to our newsletter, we highly recommend going to StudioR12.com, and a big spin wheel will pop up. You can enter your email address and spin the wheel, and you'll probably get a discount code.
Maybe you might get a coupon
for your first order.
Yeah.
And our newsletter is where you're going to learn all the fun things. We send out tips and tricks and techniques.
Yes.
We send out new video information. We send out new product information. We send out sale information and big announcements like our September project of the month.
Okay, so this is what the outside is going to look like. And so when you see this, it may not look very big, but we have to do that because postage has been ridiculous. And so we are trying our hardest to make the most product-filled, amazing, generous offer possible for you guys and keep it inside this one mailer because that is how you're going to get it for a really good price. So the last month's project of the month was amazing, and the amount, if you go onto Facebook, it's under, what's that little tab thing on Facebook called? Where community? No,
we don't have a community
anymore. It's a album or something like that. No, photos something. Move along.
Yes, there's a photos tab.
Yeah, so there's a photos tab. I noticed a lot of them were under the photo tab. There.
Any photo that we post to our Facebook page, if you want to look specifically at
untechy user, just know that I can paint my tail off, but don't ask me about technology. That's why these people are
well,
around me.
there is something that we can actually talk about with the tabs on Facebook. So if you go to, just get on our Facebook page, you'll have the whole shebang of everything we've posted. If you go to photos and want to see something specific, you can click on the photos tab. We also do have an album tab.
Albums, that's my favorite one. Yeah.
But there's not much in it. We made a special album though for our What Are You Painting Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So we have put all of our What Are You Painting Wednesday posts in there, so now you don't have to scroll back through. If you want to go find something that someone painted a month ago that you remember seeing, then you can go to that album and click on, and they all look the same because they all have the same photo when we post them, and you can click on it and then scroll on the side through the comments.
Yeah, and I think you guys, I don't know if you all realize how inspiring you are to everyone else that paints. It's so important to share in our groups of things, you know, so if you painted something that you are really proud of and you put it and you share it, then other people get inspired, and they might be having like a little bit of a dark, gloomy day, or might be feeling uninspired, and then you're not responsible, but you are helping them feel inspired, and that is just a great thing. It's just a community of painters, and I love that. That's why I love Tuesdays so much, is that we feel like we're helping you guys get through your painting projects that you're maybe feeling unsure about, or, you know, giving you confidence about things. So I'm going to put this down.
Yes, you can put that down. So our September project of the month can be pre-ordered through September 7th, so you only have 2 days left. It comes with a surface. It comes with several stencils. You are going to literally be able to make endless projects with this one.
It's cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah, it's the most cool.
It's the most cool.
It's the most cool.
It's valued
just
at
going with
over
that.
$100.
Yeah.
You can get it for $54.99, but you only have 2 days left to pre-order. They will all be shipped out on September 15th. Patty just filmed an exclusive video that if you order it, you get access to the exclusive video. It's also going to come with an exclusive coupon and some other goodies.
There's so many goodies, you guys. We really love the idea of introducing like thoughts through the boxes, boxes slightly envelopey. If you ship a box with that same stuff in it, it's like $5 more to ship. So we've chosen to try to keep it contained, and thankfully we're not shipping too much chunky stuff. So, but you get a surface with every one of the month packages, and that way you can paint. You just pull it out and get going.
Yeah,
you get going right away.
Just get going.
Get going. Ted's got a new thing he's saying these days. That's my husband. He says, "Go on, get." To the cat. Go on, get. And I'm like, you have lived in Appalachia just a little too long, sir.
Far too long. All right, so we talked about that. You better go get your
Yeah.
project ordered so that you can paint along and have some fun with us. So today we are talking about outdoor porch signs, tall things.
But it applies to all lumber.
It does apply to all lumber, but our focus today on our collection is going to be with growth charts. So I'm going to share the link to our growth chart collection, and we have our growth charts on sale today. And these really just make a phenomenal gift because Patty has lived in 165 homes in her life. And imagine...
I'm an Army brat and an Air Force wife, so... And an aviation wife.
Right? So most of the people I know
moving.
who, prior to working here, who have done the growth charts, they do them on the back of a door in the kitchen or on the door frame.
Door jamb.
And doing it somewhere like that. But then when you move, you either have to take that door or the door frame with you, or it stays at the house.
And I have a fun story. My friend Karen in Portland, Oregon, her kids were born and raised in the same house, and they needed to remodel something, and it was the jamb of the door that was their place that they needed to take that down, and they had to figure some stuff out. They had to do some fancy shenanigans. I mean, I'm talking like uber fancy shenanigans. So you can't save that if you're not putting it on something intentional. And so then this is the tall porch sign, and it will get you to 6 foot whatever, and however many inches that is, I did not measure, but 6 foot. So what you do with these, I do want to show this part. These do not start at, they don't start at
Zero.
So you're gonna have to put it at whatever number your tall porch sign art starts at. So some of them start at 1, some start at 2. You can do a 4 foot one, but not too many 1 foot babies, I don't think, are born. I mean, there are some preemies and things like that, I know, but you're not gonna get them stretched out and put them on a growth chart, you know? So you could mark it, you could measure it, so there is that. But mostly this is about just normal, whatever. But I have to say, we totally still measure everybody in our family, and we mark all the time. So, and it's super fun because when I turned 50, I grew a ½ an inch. And so I don't know how that was even possible, but they were like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, measure me, you know, and so measure mom, put her on the wall, you know, that kind of thing. So it's just fun to do. And the boys, 5 sons, they're always like, every time we all get together, that comes out, you know, gotta mark everything. So it's amazing.
It is.
It's a good tradition. All right, so we're gonna talk about how you prep this. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. All right, so you've got your board, and this is all dimensional lumber. So we want to talk about some elephants in this room. I'm gonna talk about the tall porch. I'm gonna show you how to lay out the stencil for the growth chart. And then I'm gonna switch to a shorter board just so I can keep it on this table because this is like really long. And so you've got a bunch of knots. I'm gonna show you how to deal with those. You've got a bunch of just everything going on with this material. So we're gonna show you that. But first, let's talk about the stencil itself. Okay, your stencil's gonna come in pieces because we do not have, well, we could do this, but the material is weird. So you've got to get material in smaller chunks. Lasers are weird too. Excuse me. So a lot of these from other companies come in 1 foot increments, which I think would be very trying to piece together. But what we do is we make them as long as we can, and then we etch at the bottom where the pieces overlay. So I can overlay my 5 onto my etched line, and then I'll know where to fit it together. So we can push that up to the top, move that, and it's 3 pieces, and then you line it up, of course, and then my 3 is there. And so actually on this one I would go paint my 3, and then I would overlay this on my painted 3 and line everything up, and that is how you would line up your stencil. So that is how you lay out your stencil when you get it. These are made out of 7.5 mil Mylar, and they are super durable. Your stencils will last you forever and ever and ever if you take care of them. And we have a video on YouTube. Search our channel, and Carrie, tell them how to get to the search on the channel thing, because that escaped me for a long time, as you saw with my Facebook searching as well.
Let me click on it here. So when you are on our StudioR12 YouTube channel, there's going to be a pretty picture with our stencils, and then it has our logo and says StudioR12 Stencils, and then underneath that there are some tabs. There's home, videos, shorts, live, playlist, community, channels, about, and then a magnifying glass. So you can click on the magnifying glass. Now on a phone, I don't know if that's how it works.
Okay.
But on
PC
the computer,
on
the computer, I can look on the phone and see what it's like on the phone.
So when you click on that magnifying glass, and you're just going to search for the thing, like you're going to search for cleaning your stencils or washing your stencils. So that's the thing. You want to know how to take care of your stencils. You're going to go to our YouTube channel. We're going to show you everything about stenciling. And if you are new here and you don't know what we do, we don't just stencil, we DIY, we paint technique, we distress, we finish. I'm going to show you how to prep this wood. So there's a lot that we teach you that fits with your DIY projects. So make sure in your groups and stuff like that you share with people that you have like-minded with, so that they know where to find us, so that they can learn stuff too.
Now, when you are on the YouTube app, when you go to our channel, it says StudioR12 Stencils across the top, and then you have a little box to make it go to your TV, and then there's the magnifying glass. So it's going to be in the top right-hand corner of your app.
All right, I'm going to switch to my smaller boards so that you guys will be able to see all the things I'm doing. Hey, it's much lighter too. Okay, so the first thing that we want to talk about is knots. I don't know if you've ever painted on dimensional lumber. They call it dimensional lumber at the hardware store. Just FYI, listen to the amount of uneven. Okay, so none of your dimensional lumber, none of your lumber from the hardware store is going to be flat. It's just not ever going to be flat. That's one of the things I like about our MDF surfaces, especially now that they made everything like super safe. But the dimensional lumber will never be flat because it's natural and it warps and it does all that. So you're going to have some of that. So when you choose your boards, so let's start there. You go to the hardware store, you go to the big box store, and you go to that department, and there's going to be somebody, you might have to go flag them down or whatever, but they will cut your lumber for you. So you do not have to be married to a woodworker like me. And my husband does not cut this stuff for us anymore. We go right next door, we have a lumber store, literally, and we just have them kind of deliver stuff, but we give them the size, the thickness, the length. Okay, so 4 foot and 6 foot are really standard, and this is 12 inches wide. Okay, and it comes at 3/4 of an inch. It's 1 inch, but it's really 3/4. But when you're looking at your boards, if you don't know your lumber purveyor, you want to take your board and you want to look down the spine of it, and that you're gonna instantly be like, and you're gonna know when you have one that's super wonky. And so you want to put that one back. You want to look for something that's pretty darn straight. And then you can say, please cut this to 6 foot. And then they might charge you 50 cents or $2, but that's much cheaper than a $400 saw. So there's that. All right, so now you've got it home. If it's been sitting outside in the wet, in the rain, in the weather, and the things like that, so you want to choose dry boards. If you have an outdoor lumber yard, you might need to add a couple of weeks. And so then you want to put it in someplace flat and not on your concrete floor, and you want to let it dry and cure if it's not already dry and cured. Okay, so that's your basics there. And then you are ready. The hardest thing is going to be going to StudioR12.com and choosing from over 100 tall porch signs that we have. So you can do growth charts, you can do tall porch signs, any of those things. We have a lot of choices there. So you can choose your stencil. We ship the next day. So we get it, like you're not going to get it the next day, but we ship it the next day.
So we did have a question about the one that you're talking about today with the Rawlinson with
Yes.
the R. And someone asked if they can change the letter. Absolutely. So we have hundreds of personalized designs. We do not make customized stencils, but we
make
do offer personalized. So
personalized,
we have hundreds of designs that you can change the name, change the city, change the state, change the monogram. So that's what this is. It is a personalized.
Yep.
And then we also had a question about, do we have any growth charts without something personalized in case they would want to make one for the whole family? And yes, we do. We have a really cute one. We actually made it for Lena. I
think we did.
And it says, "You are loved beyond measure." And
So
so
cute.
you could get that, and you could paint the "You Are Loved Beyond Measure." You could just paint the growth chart with the numbers.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different options that you could do.
Yeah,
with
and
these.
so with that, the one neat thing about this is when you start putting your details on here, it's about to become personalized. Like you are literally going to have everybody's name, dates, and all the things on there. And imagine, so I was listening to a thing on a blog post this morning, and it was talking about 5 years from now well, imagine 20 years from now imagine you've got your daughter-in-law giving birth to a new baby, and you make this for them for their baby gift. I mean, what a gift for 20 years from now then.
Yeah.
Like what an absolute gift to the kids, to the family, to everybody, to be able to see that growth. And like this one was this, and he was stocky at the really tall and giant at this age.
Yeah.
And this one was super petite all the time. And you have all those family stories. It's just amazing.
Our friend Donna said, "I just sold my first growth chart board yesterday."
Yay! Congratulations,
Snaps.
Donna. I know, right?
Congratulations.
Okay, guys, let's talk about how to prep this board. Okay, so, and this works for 2x4s, not for growth charts. 2x4s, any of the pine boards that you want to do. If you're joining boards together, if you do have somebody in your group that is woodworkery, I'm just going to make up words today. It's going to be fine.
We're used to it.
Woodworkery. So we have knots, which are one of the biggest problems. If you have voids, you can use a wood putty in the voids and you can fill them, allow that to dry, and sand it. So, but the knots are a big deal because if you're on white, those knots are gonna, so here's a big old knot right here. If you're on, oh yes, thank you so much. I'll hug them both. Maybe. Okay. So, on this guy, this is untreated, and that's a problem. But on this guy, right about here, you can see that we have treated that, and it is fine. And so that's what you want to know, because this is wrong. Okay, so we want to make sure that we treat those and make them amazing. So I'm going to hand that back to Steve. Steve. Okay, so on the back of here, we have made some notes. And so on this, oh, hi. Sorry, Carrie.
That's okay. No big deal.
There goes Carrie off the stool. That'll be fine. We have 4 layers of white and shellac.
Over
Okay?
top.
Over the top of shellac.
Nope, we have 4 layers of white with shellac on top of it all.
I gotcha. And so we can see like how that looks. And then here we have shellac between the 2 layers
Of paint.
And we love this one way better.
Yeah, when you do the shellac on there, it's hard to see on camera right now, but when we're looking at it, the shellac on top gives you a little bit of a sheen. So we put the shellac between the layers of paint just to test it out. I think I did this video 2 years ago, according to YouTube. So in 2 years, we've not had bleed through on either of them.
Yeah.
But if you want that matte finish, which we typically look for,
We want a consistent finish.
yes,
Yeah.
putting the shellac between the layers of paint really turned out beautifully.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely perfect. And so then, juggling tall boards.
It's hard.
gonna
They're
lie,
so
it's
big in this space.
Yeah, it's just like, don't take out
You think your space is
filming
big.
partner. Yeah. Okay, so So what we like to do is we're going to go ahead and you can seal your board if you want to seal your board. So if you feel like you're going to be out in the weather, if you're going to be out in the rain, and like my front porch is questionable. Anything I put on my front porch, including my furniture, I have giant, comfy, rotating chairs. They get tossed over my porch and into my garden bed like 16 feet away. So my porch gets all of the weather coming from the west. So,
Remember, you can't use these for shellac.
Really good point. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So we've got an interesting point about the shellac. Anyway, but so on my porch, I have to do something that's secured. So if I was putting this on my porch, I would either, well, it's a tall porch sign. You're not going to be putting it on your porch. I'm in front porch mode. I switched. Phew. Okay, so you're in your house. You don't have to worry about my porch. But now you know.
But now you know that Patty's porch
Windy.
is windy.
So windy.
But we are talking about
We're
tall
talking
porch
about-
signs and
yeah.
dimensional lumber.
Okay,
and lumber
so
in
if
general.
you wanted to seal, you could seal your board. That's going to keep things from moisture from getting into your wood and stuff like that.
And with that, you'll want to do all sides.
Yep.
So you want to do the bottom,
Ends,
you want to do the
yep.
top, because if for some reason you would get moisture on your porch and it would soak up into the bottom of this, then the bottom of your porch sign's going to balloon out with water. And after all the time it takes to paint these and all the paint that it takes to paint these.
Well, I'm missing my there's a little bottle. Okay, so DecoArt's multi-purpose sealer is what I would use to do all the things. I've used this, if you guys haven't seen the concrete stepping stone, I make a paint sandwich out of that, and we use so many amazing things that just grab together, and like the colors of the paint don't fade or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a piece of this. So we've showed how to lay it out. So we're going to go ahead and base. Choosing your colors. I went onto Pinterest and I knew I wanted a baby room colors because the baby gift, like you guys, that's the best. If you wanted a generic or a more general family one, you would choose a different search, but I chose baby rooms. And I saw the beautiful gray colored crib selection that they have right now. It's so pretty. And so I just made a neutral gray and I made it with number 12 and number 21. Hey, that's fun. But this one was too dark and this one was too light. So I just mixed them 50-50 and it made them just right. So then you would go on here, you would keep your sleeves out of things.
And while she's talking about painting, we did have a question asked about how to seal them to write on them. We will cover that.
We're going to do that next.
But when you are thinking about what color you are painting with, you'll also want to think ahead about writing on these surfaces. So I'm going to share the video that I did a couple years ago of the Madison page. And I did so much research for that project that we have a board with different paint, shellac in different places. We wrote on it with a bunch of different things. So if you are interested in doing one of these projects, you want to watch that video so you can get an idea of what you can use, what you can't use, and it's going to be a little bit more in depth than what we're doing today.
All right, so I'm going to take it to there. Get that nice even coat. I'm going to go ahead and put my brush in water. If I did not want my brush in water because I don't own a craft store, I'm not a craft store, I'm a craft retailer, but we have a lot of supplies around here. I could put it in a baggie and put it off to the side, and that's going to keep it fresh. If I have enough of these tools, I just plop it right in the water and not worry about it, just not to waste it.
Excuse me. So if you, well,
one more.
Excuse me. So if you are going to paint shellac between your layers of paint, you will want to do your layer of paint, put your brush in a baggie, and then paint it again. I'm done. But that's really beautiful. Being able to see the wood grain through that gray is super pretty.
It's really pretty. All right, so we're gonna hit it with a blow dryer for just 1 second because it's almost dry. We'll let Carrie sneeze.
I'm trying to get it out. Thank you, everyone, saying bless you.
And it's not completely dry, but I'm going to talk about what we have on the table here for a second. So there are two kinds of Bullseye. This is the Zinsser Bullseye Shellac. Okay, I don't know why it's shellac. Don't ask me because I just learned that this prevents the knots from bleeding through, and that has been a thing that I have fought for 30 years. And so that comes in a spray and it comes in a brush on. You can't use the brush on with the foam applicator because of the kind of material that it is. So you'll want to get, I would choose either this giant feathering brush or this guy right here, but then once you've used it with that material, you have to use whatever they tell you on the back to clean it with. So that's the only thing, so you might go with spray instead of with brush. Okay, so, and I'll keep this one out so that I use the right thing. So you're gonna do your coat of paint. You've got maybe a sealer, you've got your coat of paint, and then you're gonna open up your shellac. And then this is a pro tip, and this is so good for me. These are paint stir sticks, okay? You get them when you order your paint, and they come like about that long, okay? But when I put them into my buckets of tools and stuff like that, they want to catch on everything, they spill things, they're awkward. And so I just had a handful of them and I had somebody just cut them off for me. And now they're a perfect size for these 1 quart vessels. I'm not doing gallon size things. I don't need a big stir stick. I just need something little to manage. So we'll do that. Oh, just thought of a really good idea. So if you didn't own a brush and you didn't want to do different cleaners, this is my glove. This is my little sandwich baggie that we fold down. This is my medium, and I can use this as my brush, and then I can throw this away. Such a great idea. You're welcome. Okay, so we would just apply that to that coat, and then from there we're going to allow that to dry. And then we're going to apply probably 2 more top coats just to make it a solid coat. So we'll let this dry. I'm going to put this right here on my palette just to get it out of my way, and then I am going to talk about how you do your the writing on your boards. Okay, so that's kind of involved a little bit because there's so many ways that you can mark a board. Okay, so the number one thing that people have done for generations is they've used either a pen or a pencil on your little wall jam or whatever. So, but we know we want to take this with us. We want to not have to move and not leave it behind. And so what you're going to do is you've got some tools. Okay, and so we've got a couple of tools. So pencil, ballpoint pen, I don't have one right there that I can see.
Here.
Carrie's got one. So pencil, ballpoint pen. We've got a chalk here. It's actually not chalk, it's ceramic lead, thank you. So I was looking at my chalk, thinking about my thing. So you've got chalk, and then you've got, like, say, a Sharpie. Okay, so you've got all these different kinds of things that you might mark with. Every one of these will disappear in one way or another. So what you need to know about is how you keep them from disappearing. Okay, so your marker, if you mark on your wood surface to embellish it, on my spring project, which is a spring tall porch sign, I mark little embellishment hashes and things like that using a Sharpie. You have to spray it after you mark it with a marker with your Krylon matte varnish. Okay, this is a tool that you need in your toolbox. You need it all the time. We don't carry it anymore because it has to go ground, and I think last time we used to ship these, I think they were $9 to ship one bottle of $9 stuff. So you can find this almost everywhere. It is Krylon matte finish, and the numbers are 1311. Magic in a can. You need this product. You need it for your life. Okay, if you're going to do chalk, same thing. You're going to go over the top of it. And if you're going to do pencil or the ceramic, you're going to do the same thing. You don't have to do it. If I mark Johnny's height and weight or whatever on Tuesday, I don't have to take the sign and hurry outside. But if I'm going to do anything to it, like clean it or anything like that, so like annually, you might want to be like, okay, let me take this outside, let me give it a little coat, and then you're preserved underneath the Krylon matte finish. And that is how you're going to keep everything from wiping off.
Yes, and then I had a question. Oh, I might have lost it. So, let's say you don't want to write on it. Let's show them what else you can do.
Yes.
We also have used,
I forgot.
in the other video that I did, we used a paint marker as well, and that worked really beautifully.
Yeah, paint markers are a really good idea. The problem I get into, so I think they make skinnier paint markers. Is that correct? I haven't used a lot of paint markers in my life, believe it or not.
Yeah, it was one that I got from here somewhere. It was in a cubby.
We have lots of things. Okay, so there are also other stencils that you can do. So pretending that it's Emily's birthday, and we've got her little, this is where she was at birth, this is where she was at this age. So you can take, if this was one that was dedicated, like I was doing this in baby colors, bedroom colors, then you could totally, and so I would suggest maybe neutrals. Thinking about that, like where you might go later on, something that will work in with other stages of life. But these say 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and we have them all the way, and we even have mom and dad.
And we have different fonts for those as well.
So super neat. If your handwriting is not so great and you want to keep it kind of looking like really pro, then these are a great accessory option. So, and then having the different fonts is amazing as well. So you can line those up. And then when you're hanging this, make sure that you are measuring from where so you're going to want the 1 foot to be 1 foot off the ground. So you're not going to put it leaning on your ground. If you are going to lean it on your ground, you might need to mark it when you like bring it up. So, but you hang it a little higher, and they make 23-pound command strips, which are amazing. And so you can put a couple of command strips at the top and a couple at the bottom, and then get your measurement exactly right, and then you'll be exactly where you want to be. And that's how I would secure it on my windy front porch if it wasn't a porch sign.
Yeah.
Well,
Kat asked about how about gel pens. I don't know that we've.
Gel pens, I've messed with a little bit of gel pens. Almost everything that's pen, just pretend everything that's pen, you need to give it a little mist of the Krylon 1311. That is just going to protect your bacon. And if you've never seen, I did a project in a big workshop, like a 5-day workshop for one project, 8 hours a day. Like it was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And I went in at the end and I signed it in gold pen, because artists are supposed to sign their work and sign their stuff and whatever. And then I brushed on my varnish, and there goes gold streaks up and down through my project that I worked for 5 days, 8 hours a day to paint. So, insurance. We like insurance. Yeah, such a big deal. So but yeah, markers work that way.
One more quick announcement. We had mentioned that our project of the month is only available for 2 more days to do your pre-order. Get on our Facebook page. So today's September 5th. We are running a little giveaway that if you go on and comment and tell us what you think might be coming in the September box, then you can be entered to win a 5-piece dome brush set.
What?
And if you've already pre-ordered yours, be sure to let us know in the comments, because then you can get a second entry to win that dome brush set. And we will announce the winner of the dome brush set on Friday, September 8th, my birthday, at 12 p.m. Eastern.
I love it. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week on Tuesday, and we are blessed to talk to you.